Hi, good evening, everyone. There is a phrase in community organising which says, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And in the spirit of getting a seat at the table, Creating Ground, which is a not-for-profit organisation based in South East London that works with women from migrant backgrounds, learning and sharing through the arts and community organising. Creating Ground embarked on the Notice Us campaign to challenge the injustices of temporary accommodation in their borough. The two specific asks at the centre of this campaign are provision of Wi-Fi in all temporary accommodation. As we all know, it's pretty difficult to do anything now without Wi-Fi, and fair notice periods, because it's not uncommon to be given 2 days notice to relocate to another part of the city and to have no choice in that matter. Now, I was privileged to join this group of community advocates and leaders to create a performance to show the world their experiences of temporary accommodation. So over a period of 4 months last year, meeting around once a week for about 90 minutes, sometimes just an hour, always on Zoom, we created and rehearsed. Now, and I'm a great believer in the power of theatre of the oppressed and legislative theatre, and I use those methods in my work. But on this occasion, it didn't feel right to ask the performers to recreate painful scenarios in housing offices, to replay conversations of rejection and isolation, indeed trauma. And also, these women wanted to play, to create, perform, and have a great time together. So in that spirit, we relocated this issue from its gritty reality to a metaphorical shoe shop. Here's the flyer from the production, as it were. And what we found is that rather than diluting the power of the message, it actually brought it into sharp, absurd relief. Our sessions included making image theatre, writing, rehearsing, sharing and editing, evaluating, worrying and laughing. And we faced the everyday challenges, which you'll know about, of caring responsibilities, of unreliable internet and the stuff of life. But what was unquestioned was the desire and the commitment to make this piece, and not only that, to share it in public in order to bring change and justice through the campaign. Now, one of the many important lessons that I learned through making the shoe shop is to believe that everything you need is already in the room. We didn't have any budget, really. We couldn't commission a designer. And anyway, the performance was going to be on Zoom. So really, we just needed some backdrops, but they still needed to be right. And so I shared my ideas through some sketches of Jimmy Choo shoes, and also a couple of images from Wes Anderson's films as well, just to create this kind of comic, playful imagery. And one of the people in the group, Lucy, immediately grasped this vision, and she created incredible images, which you can see here. These are all laid out on the tiles on everyone's Zoom tile of the shoe shop. And so she delivered those around South East London. They got stuck to people's walls with blue tack. We pre-recorded the performance because we wanted to avoid any last-minute technical hitches, as you can imagine. And on the 6th of October last year, the shoe shop was shown at the Notice Us campaign launch. And here's just an image of one of the scenes. I'm not going to share the whole film here because it's about 13 minutes long, but I will post it in the chat, and I hope you all choose to look at it. So the shoe shop explores a place where community arts and community organising meet. And I began learning the craft and the methodology of community organising in 2017 when I co-founded Herne Hill Welcomes Refugees. We're a local volunteer group resettling refugee families in the neighbourhood via the community sponsorship scheme. And as I learned about community organising, I began to look at the process of building power in civic society to challenge injustices through the lens of theatre for social change. So, for example, organising requires good listening, relationship building, understanding who holds what systemic or political power. Assemblies are used often with hundreds of people. There are testimonies, there are actions, we would maybe call those interventions. It's often very performative. Community organising places the power into the hands and the voices of civic society, developing leaders from among those with lived experience of the injustices they seek to challenge. And community theatre provides a platform where those same leaders can take their place to be seen and heard. So placing a theatrical performance at the heart of an issue ensures that the art wasn't just about the campaign for change in temporary accommodation. It is the campaign. So we haven't won yet. The key decision maker, the Cabinet Minister for Housing at Greenwich Council, did not show up to the launch. And we can't let that go with an, oh, well, what a shame he missed it. And instead, one reason you're listening to me tonight rather than any of the performers is because they are busy right now this evening presenting the campaign at the Greenwich Citizens Delegates Assembly ahead of local council elections. They are seizing the opportunity to build momentum. So do please follow their progress and support if you want to see organising and theatre making evolve into social change. With society seemingly more fragmented now than many of us can remember, and in the current hostile environment which the women of Creating Ground contend with every day, I think the art that we make for social change needs to maintain its joy, both in process and performance, to celebrate its capacity to build bridges across whatever may seek to divide us, and to build its power in dismantling injustice. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Rachel.